Dustin, so good to see you. I'm glad we have time to talk. I came across this really interesting article about how to make sure your inheritance doesn't disappear. Let's talk it through because this is surprising. 42% of heirs see their net worth fall back to or below pre-inheritance levels within just 1 year. And the average inheritance studied in this data was $133,000 gone in 1 year. What's driving that behavior?
I think a few things. So the average might be 133,000 first of all, but some of those inheritances are far smaller and can be consumed with a few expenses. Many of those people take an opportunity to use all or nearly all of that money to pay off debts, and unfortunately may not have much to show for it in the end. Others may take the opportunity to often temporarily upgrade their lifestyle. For example, research shows that for a beneficiary of an inheritance, on average, it takes 19 days before that person buys a new car.
Oof. That's a really interesting nugget.
Yeah.
And also, the study suggests this pattern is more extreme than with other financial windfalls like winning the lottery. Why are inheritances different?
Many reasons, but a couple stand out to me. Understandably, losing a loved one can be a traumatic experience.
Right.
So if somebody's experiencing a lot of stress, they're experiencing a lot of grief, they may not be in the best mindset, the best place to truly weigh the consequences of those financial decisions. And then similarly, but different, some people may tend to make impulsive buys to satisfy an emotional need during that state.
Right. Yeah. We make emotional decisions with our money time and time again. Dustin, you've been doing this for a while now. So what mistakes do you see families making when it comes to passing down wealth?
I can tell you one of the big ones. There are a lot of people we may love very much that shouldn't necessarily receive an inheritance in a lump sum. And a lot of families fail to plan for this. We could talk about some examples. Let's say you've got a loved one who's a spendthrift. So that means if they came into a large sum of money, they're not accustomed to it, they're not prepared for it, and they're going to tend to burn through those assets. Let's talk about a minor coming into an inheritance. They can't legally control those funds, so we have to have a custodian or a guardian involved in that case. Or we could talk about someone who they're not a minor, but they're just not yet mature. Aaron, I don't know about you. Hey, at age 18, we were adults, but maybe we didn't make the very best decisions of our lives at that time, right? We could talk about someone who has substance abuse issues, where if they came into a large sum of funds, it could mean that they either hurt someone else or they hurt themselves. Or we could talk about someone who has special needs. Maybe they're being supported by state benefits. And if they come into a large inheritance in a lump sum, they lose eligibility for those state benefits that they depend upon. So those are all cases where trust planning might make sense. Basically, you can put a trustee in place that you name who can provide for the care and maintenance of your loved ones. And you get to decide in advance with your estate plan when it's appropriate for them to receive the balance of that inheritance as a lump sum.
Right. And that is certainly a great strategy. What other strategies can help ensure that an inheritance actually lasts?
Sure. So if you're the person coming into an inheritance, I would say really good advice to have a cooling off period. Just don't do anything for 3 to 6 months until you recover from that loss of that loved one. Clear your mind. Something else I would advise, go to a good advisor, go see a good advisor. It may not be a case where you have to liquidate your inheritance. You might be able to convert that inheritance into an income that can help you permanently upgrade your lifestyle. And then finally, not just meet with a good advisor, meet with a good advisor and a good estate planning attorney. We happen to have one. I've got one next door to me in my office. Meet with a team that can work hand in glove, the advisor and the attorney who knows your situation, to get some good estate planning advice. And if you need help with that team, that advisor, and that attorney, our office can help with both.
Right. I understand why people put off having this conversation. Nobody likes to talk about the end of their life. But as you mentioned, this really is about taking care of your family, no matter what happens to you. So Dustin, proactive conversations, passing down, again, financial values, which you always talk about. So if somebody would like to come into the office, invite both generations, sit down with you, lower the temperature, get everybody on the same page, what's the best way to reach you?
Give us a call or a text at 830-476-2505 or reach out on the website to book a free chat at longlivemymoney.com.
Great. Dustin, thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.